Hello. Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog. Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. This is my little project here. I've been vlogging for a couple years now. New videos every Wednesday and Friday about being a volunteer tech, doing live sound and making things happen. And in this video, actually, I wanted to promote something that somebody else is doing. Promote a project that someone else is working on. I want to do more of this because originally when I set out to do this vlog, I didn't see anybody on YouTube vlogging about live sound and being a volunteer tech. I mean, there's nobody that seemed to be doing it consistently. And one of the things I try to do is follow the space or the category that I'm vlogging in. So the church tech world, the live sound world, I've been following and subscribing to newsletters and blogs and podcasts and seeing what other people are talking about and just trying to like make sure I'm keeping up with the technology and the conversations that are happening and joining different communities and forums and the whole deal. So I want to help promote other people in the space, in the church tech space, in the live sound space. And so in this video, I wanted to do two things, really. I want to do kind of an update on where we stand with our system and getting that back online, because I just did let's see, the last video I did was like the night driving system update video, which had horrible footage, and I learned how dirty my windshield was. So I'll talk about system update, but I also want to talk about Church Tech Arts and the Church Tech Weekly podcast. So that is the big thing I want to promote in this video. So this guy named Mike Sessler and another guy named Van Metchke are in the church tech space. They've worked as tech directors and I think integrators now. And they do this podcast. It's been this year, anyway, 2016. It's been Church Tech Weekly-ish, but because they've been so busy doing other projects. But they usually put out a podcast once a week, and I think it's great. They put out Mike usually blogs, and he's got some really good insight on his blog. And so Van, his partner in crime there, is firing up this thing that he had done in the past called Church Tech Profiles. And I think it's great that there's somebody out there that's doing this, interviewing people, interviewing tech directors, you know, hearing their stories, sitting down with them. So I guess there was like a first round of this like way back when, and it was maybe part of another podcast, but it's kind of being sorry, a little notification up there. It's being like repackaged and reworked, and their Van is trying to put together some interviews, which I think is awesome. So I want to support that. I want to volunteer people to hear their story. And so this week I tweeted out, you know, Dave Dolphin, if he's interested, I think he'd be a great guest to be on the Church Tech Profiles show if he's got time to do an interview. And so I tweeted and mentioned Dave and I mentioned Van, and I think an email address was exchanged, so I think that would be cool. But I am more than happy to volunteer people because I'm interested in learning as much as I can about the church tech world and kind of how people get into it and their challenges and struggles and their stories, really, and kind of where they got to where they are. That is something that is valuable and interesting to me. So I want to do all I can to support it. So I not only want to support that, but other people that are blogging in the space. I think I'm going to go through and really try to be intentional about tweeting out blog posts from things like Going to 11, which is Dave Stagel's blog. He's got some good content there. Chris Huff has a blog, Behind the Mixer. I don't know if he's blogged in a while, but there are some new folks on the scene that, like, in the last 6 months, started kind of making YouTube videos and things like that. So definitely want to do that. But I want to promote people that are, you know, consistently putting out content, and I think that is like what's valuable. And I know it's tough to do because life comes at you, but I really think there's something about like having a schedule and a frequency and just being able to consistently upload content. That's the thing. Even if you've got to like repackage or, you know, an older blog post, but just have like, you know, okay, once a month I'm gonna publish something, and or like once a week or whatever it is. Like for this vlog, I'm just chatting with you in the car, and I can do this twice a week, and it's not really a big deal, but you know, it's a very informal type of video. This is not like a formal thing where I sit down and do edits and all that type of stuff. This is just like, you know what, let's hit record and let's drive and see what happens. And I might do, you know, one little tiny edit just using video editing software on my phone, and that's about it. So definitely that, you know, and that's one of the things is like there's a lot of really smart people in the pro audio space, in the church tech space, but some of the smartest people put out very little content, or they might like do like a book or something like that. And so I don't know, I think there is a place for content that is, shall I say, off the cuff and just kind of candid. You know, let's just talk about some topic, just like you'd have a conversation with somebody about it, without like overthinking it too much. You know, and I think especially in like the audio, the pro audio space or the live sound space, like audio is complicated. You know, and I think there's this fear of like not fully understanding something and not fully being able to like explain it, and so you really want to like be careful and take your time and make sure you don't say anything wrong. And you know, and I know I don't get everything right here. I'm not the smartest dude on the block, but I really try to just talk naturally about some of this stuff, and as much as possible. But I think I might get something wrong here or there, but I think there's value in processing verbally also, and then hearing comments from, you know, people like S. Ewing. He's a frequent commenter here, and Amawi is also a frequent content. That's Josh. He's got this like cryptic name, Amawi, that he writes. Sometimes he comments as EBC Norfolk. He's a church administrator where I do live sound, so sometimes he'll comment here. But then there's a handful of other people that just commented recently. Actually, I was gonna do shout outs, but I forgot my little post-it note. So anyway, shout out to Church Tech Arts and the Church Tech Profiles. Email van@churchtecharts.org if you're interested in telling your story, because I will 100% be subscribing to that and be listening to those stories. Next order of business, I wanted to promote Van Metchke and then give an update about our system. So I did that night driving video, and we were not up to the wee hours. It was just like a little 4-hour session with Josh, and our goal is to get SAC, Software Audio Console, back online so that we could avoid training one of our newest volunteers to do live sound was gone for the summer at camp, and he just came back and he learned how to use Software Audio Console. And in the time that he was gone, the system went down and we switched over to our backup system. And so we were at a point where now we needed to train him. He had never used the old analog board, so we kind of needed to train him to use the old analog board, or we could get SAC, Software Audio Console, back up and running again. So we decided, you know, Tuesday was the day that we had time to do it. Let's go get Software Audio Console back online. And so we stayed up from like 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. We repatched all the XLRs. Oh, this error keeps coming up. We repatched all the XLRs and repatched all the ADAT cables, and patched in the broadcast feed from our stereo distribution amp, patched in the headphone amp. So we did all that type of stuff, and I'm telling you what, I keep hitting this error coming up that some app stopped working. I'm like, I don't care about that app right now. I'm recording a video. Oh man. Oh, that's the challenges of using your phone. So, alright, so we got SAC up and running again. It seemed to be working. And I had done testing. I did like stability testing for like, I don't know. I did 3 different sessions that were over an hour each. And I had no noise, no pops, no clicks. It just, things were working fine. And then we added the 2 new Behringers in there, repatched everything. And some of those pops and clicks actually came back again during rehearsal on Thursday night. So we did the upgrade on Tuesday, and during rehearsal, I got reports of 2 pops and clicks. Now, I don't know. It could have been an open channel where somebody plugged in an XLR, or an open channel where somebody plugged in an instrument, and that was the popping. Those were the 2 pops and clicks. Or it could have been, since this was a secondhand report, it could have been actually the system doing it. And the only thing I can think of is that I've read that those ADAT cables and Toslink cables can be finicky. And if you get a little speck of dust in this optical cable connector housing or assembly where that cable plugs into the port, sometimes you can get little bits of dust in there floating around that can cause these problems. And then I read that if you have different lengths of cable, sometimes it can cause word clock problems too. So I think, just to be sure, I want to get a can of air and carefully de-dust. Or see, the problem with the can of air is it's a double-edged sword. You can blow a bit of debris into the light pipe connection. So we still have a little bit of a gremlin in the system, but I honestly think our ADAT cables, they're all different lengths, and they're different manufacturers. Some of them are super thick and rugged, and some of them are very thin, and they don't snap in nicely. So I think if we order some halfway decent, rugged ADAT Toslink cables of all the same length, I think that could help, and then carefully dust or clean out some of those connections. So that's the system update. That's kind of where we're at. I really hope there's no pops or clicks. So today's Saturday. I really hope tomorrow goes smoothly for Wes. We're really trying to help him along there by getting that system up and running. But it sounds like those ADAT cables might also need to be replaced because it is light. There's 8 channels of digital audio getting sent down a piece of plasticky glass, and the audio is just represented in blinks of light. So not exactly the most robust. I wish we had something a little more robust, but that's the cheapest way to do it, and we're trying to do it the cheapest way. And these are the struggles that you deal with when you try to do things the cheapest way. So, not my first choice, but this is the situation we're in. So, we're going to try to make the best of it. Alright, I got to where I'm going, so I'm going to go in. My name is Nate. This is the Volunteer Tech Vlog. I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, probably notice this. I'll probably get some hateful comments for having this shirt on. It is also the opening week of football, so... Oh yes, gotta bust out the Patriots t-shirt. Alright. Over and out.